Hello everybody, Titan Troll Miniatures here, and I'm going to be showing you how to support a simple miniature inside Lychee. So, to start off, what we're going to do is we're going to open the file that we want to support. So I'm going to be taking this guy here, Crazed Guard, and I'm going to be taking this version here, which is a unfixed file. The unfixed file will show up as being red. All you need to do is click Repair, 3D Model, and it's fixed. There is a way of doing this in a bulk way. So if I was to add a batch, select the files that I want to repair. So let's say there's already done all these, but if I was to click this one, and this one, if I was to select these three, add a suffix of F for fixed, select my destination folder, which will be one of these, run the batch, and it'll go through all the different files and make sure that they're all fixed. So it fills the holes, as you can see here. Resin volume estimation, loading. Basically, it runs through all the processes it does to make sure that the file is fixed. And basically, when that's done, it'll give you a little notepad telling you what happened with the file, and if there was any issues. If you do have issues, however, you cannot actually repair it through Lychee. I did have a file. This file, it would not actually repair through Lychee. Repair Lychee, that shouldn't work. Yeah, so this doesn't work. I don't know, but I used a program called NetFab, and I repaired this here, as you can see. Anyway, so supporting a simple model, and obviously these are the files that were exported out with the F suffix, sorry. Don't actually need any of these. So we're going to be supporting this guy here, relatively simple model. He has a crossbow, which obviously will need its own little strain of supports. Got one heel down, one in the air, and a flowy cape. So basically quite simple. I think he imported in like this. Usually what we try and do when we're supporting is we try and make it so there's less model to support. Some things can be naturally supported just by the curve. So if this guy was like this, all of this will be taking the brunt. But I think because this is like an appendage in of itself, you kind of need to support a certain point, and that will support the rest. So I think just to keep it concise, we're gonna tilt it back slightly so there's like an upward gradient of this guy, and also this guy's leant back naturally anyway. So I'm gonna go through my support settings. Light supports are these guys, small thin boys, and the mediums that I use are just a little bit thicker, and these basically hold the model. I don't really use heavies. I think any bigger than this causes unnecessary damage to the model. If I was to use this on an edge, it'll cover pretty much all of the edge. That also damages the edge, and it won't actually go crisp, so instead we use one of these. Bang that on the edge. Something that obviously needs support. And this won't need supporting on this side, it'll be underneath, but that protects the edge as opposed to having the big heavy boy there. So the two supports that I do actually use are the light and the medium. My settings with the light is a 0.6 diameter, 0.12 tip diameter, and a tip length of a standard 2. That's standard. I don't change that, so I only actually change the diameter and tip diameter. I pretty much double it for the medium across the board. Double it's 2 of these basically. You can do this. You can do it all with lights if you want. It's not really a problem. Alright, so to start out, basically you want to tilt him back to a point where the model is almost supporting itself in a way, but you also actually want to add your own little supports. Down in the utilities at the bottom here, it's also here. So if the standard Lychee comes like this, if you hold shift, you can actually open all these. So go to utilities, which is at the bottom. I click 2mm up twice, so 4mm in the air. That'll give you a little bit of room off ground. If you don't do this, you'll end up with your model being embedded into the raft or the build plate, which is fine if you're doing a unsupported model. But in this case, we do need support, so we're just going to support the whole thing. To start out, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the edge is affected. So we're going to make sure that our support is actually not right on the edge. I'm going to use light here just to support the start bit. The rest is obviously picked up by the medium. And then, you know, as usual, we just go through and we support the rest of the boot. Nothing really too technical. Nothing cool. Again, light here, edge, medium here, because we can softer sort of edge, so we can get away with a medium. This is a mini support. I'll talk about that. Go up and just support the back of the leg, because this part's kind of hidden away as well, so it's under the model. Kind of just put as many as we see fit around this area. There is a detector here as well, so you can actually search for islands. I have real because I think this is a Lychee Pro setting, but this will tell you the parts that definitely need supporting. But when you've done it for a while, you kind of know what the score is anyway. So also that is the destination of the auto supports usually, but obviously if you look at this, you'd think there's definitely not enough supports if you just go by the red icons. Add them yourself. Just as before, we'll go on the edges. Higher up, we use medium. Sure that this part is all supported nice enough so the resin carries on through. When it goes red, that means that there's a proximity issue. This is actually being embedded in something, but it's actually so gray polygon, which is causing an issue. I think it's this bit here. Because it's not the tip, it's still reading. But if I move this along, so moving on, we can support this bit. Underneath here, we can use a medium. Same under here. Get away with doing support in here. Kind of hidden as well. When it comes to supporting the main body, that's kind of all we'll need for this main part, the lower legs. Lights there. This is obviously going to be going up here, so we don't need any supports on this bit, just the edge. Again, same for this bit, just the edge. This bit, just the edge. All of this will go forward and mass. We just need this little bit here to take the start, which is there. This tiny bit here is all that bit needs to support. The rest is self-supporting. So yeah, that's the main bulk of the body done. Just the little bits that are dangling off. You know, we can actually do this as well, where we support off the model. So we hold Control and Alt together. This will give you a mini support. Pull and just. And that will brush off easily with something like a toothbrush, or pinch it off with your finger and that'll come off nice. It won't leave any marks. Same for the ear. You know, sometimes people leave ears like this. I do. It's a habit because I sculpt realistic faces a lot of the time. I'm used to making these gaps in the ears. Fill it like that, and that's not an issue. Flip it off with your nail. So now that's the main bulk of the supporting done. We just need to support the crossbow. So go back to the mediums. careful when you're moving around and control Alt Control Z and stuff like that, because it'll affect the last thing you do. So again, when we're doing the supports for the crossbow, just go along and support the bottom with a medium. Sure that you're not causing any overlap with your support. The light, medium on these bottom bits, flat pieces. Yeah, flat piece, flat piece. You can just add a little bit more support just in case. And you need to like this part here is supported. There's like a bit of penetration here. If you end up getting something like this, I'd recommend always running the proximity detector because it'll show you. It actually didn't. Okay, should do. Showing me a proximity for this, which isn't an issue at all. Another proximity. Right, it's saying there's no issues, but there clearly is here. That'll wedge in a little support. And just make sure there's enough support going along the arm. Edge. And I think that's more or less it. We'll also run a light for all islands just to make sure we've got everything. And that is on the pro version. We have an option to change the rafting as well. If you're using the normal version, I don't think you actually have this option, but I like to change the override base to 100%, thickness to 0.4, and the angle to 80%. That is pretty much it. This guy will support perfectly, will print perfectly, and won't leave that many marks. And though obviously it's quite heavily supported, but because the supports are relatively light, it won't cause as much damage, and is also got a higher success rate on more printers. So I've noticed. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna go in and add a few more supports just between the arm here. Not gonna be seen, but back there. Back a few more here, and it's seen. That down here is fine, but I'm gonna add a bit more here just I like it to be stable. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching.